Hello everybody, Wild Rocket here with you from Istanbul, Turkey. It's been quite a long time since I made a video for the Wild Rocket channel. I moved here about 11 months ago. It's almost been a whole year, and many circumstances led up to that point. It's quite of a long story, but suffice to say it was a very unexpected occurrence, quite similar to what happened when I was a teenager, in which I ended up moving to America at very short notice. This was kind of similar, except when I moved to America I was 15, I was in a much lower level of consciousness. I didn't know how to deal with change, unexpected circumstances. I didn't see it as the opportunity it was. Now obviously I'm an adult, and when I moved to Turkey I did so based on my own free will. It was a conscious decision that I made, even though it was the opportunity was offered to me at reasonably short notice, and moving here was not part of my plan, was not part of my grander destiny for where I saw my life going, but nevertheless coming here ended up being part of my journey. When I was offered the chance to come here, it felt like the right thing to do. It felt like a risky and uncertain thing to do, but upon a bit of reflection it seemed to be the correct thing to do at the time. And now it's been 11 months since I came here. I've been working full time for 5 months now. I've learned a lot. I spent the year in Dubai and even the time in Japan. Most of that time was very much in solitude, very much in my own thoughts and my own meditative states. In the past 5 months I've been working a lot. I've been exposing myself to a lot of people, and I've gone from being a kind of solo guru or solo kind of traveller exploring himself, to being in the role of the influencer, of the dominator, of the teacher, of the person who guides and influences others and is exposed to people of different levels of consciousness, different economic backgrounds, different religious backgrounds, different ways of thinking. And it's been very, very eye-opening, and it's really compelled me to grow, such that I no longer feel I am somebody who is living on the sidelines. Now I have a better sense of how important it is to be that shining light of positivity, of benevolence, of kindness, of tolerance, and also of somebody who is the predominant energy. When I walk into a room, everybody knows that I'm there. Even if people can't communicate with me. I'm in a country where I don't speak the language, and therefore anyone who can communicate with me needs to know quite a bit of English, which is quite rare. But nevertheless, I'm very gifted, I'm very blessed that I have the ability to walk into a room and immediately uplift the vibration with my energy, with my vibration, with my being, and that's because I've worked on myself for many, many years now, and I continue to work on myself. I am by no means done with that process. So the main thing I wanted to talk today to anyone who might be watching is about the importance of, if you are called to be an influencer, to be someone who is of a dominant vibration, of someone who is put on this earth to be a leader, to lead others, to help raise the frequency of planet Earth, because most of planet Earth is living in a state of fear, whereas those of us who are gifted with the ability to see other dimensions and other timelines and other realms know that love is the biggest and most powerful frequency that helps build things, helps harmonize things, and reminds us of our true nature, which is unity, which is love, which is compassion, which is forgiveness. And these are values which every human being, regardless of their religious or social background or their social beliefs, fundamentally and intuitively knows, even if they would not choose the same words or philosophy to explain it the way that I explain it. So I'm very gifted in that. That is my primary mission on this earth, to uplift others. And one thing I've learned is how important it is for those of us who are conscious, who are love conscious, who are vibrating from the love frequency, as I do almost all of the time, whether or not I'm conscious of that, is how powerful it is to move out of your comfort zone. How powerful it is to be a bit uncomfortable, to be a bit hesitant, be a bit nervous, to be in front of people who may not be vibrating on the same frequency in you and may be resisting it. I found myself in that situation quite a few times actually in the past 5 months, and at first it was like, whoa, it was like I must be failing in my mission because these people are resisting me. They are, they don't like the way I talk. They don't like the conscious that I bring. It must be something bad. But as soon as I gathered my thoughts and I let the ego subside, I remembered what a blessing and how powerful it is. And I've gotten to the point now where I thrive from being uncomfortable, from being a bit nervous, or being a bit hesitant, because that shows me areas which I, as the leader, as the influencer, as somebody who is there to help uplift others, so that hopefully I can bring as many people on board with my way of thinking and way of feeling as possible, is that when people make you uncomfortable, they're showing you areas where you need to work on. They are there to help you evolve, to integrate those unresolved aspects of yourself, which are there anyway. These people that make you uncomfortable are not creating problems for you. They are simply triggering parts of you which were already there. They're helping it bring it to the surface. So what was once in your subconscious, what once would have just manifested in some dreams or unawares when you were doing something and you didn't quite catch it, they are now bringing it to the surface, and it's right in front of you, and that is a huge blessing. And getting a bit uncomfortable, getting a bit nervous, feeling a bit shaky is perfect. That is the exact moment where you need to bring in the love, where you need to bring in the harmony, where you need to bring in the dominance of bringing forth the love. It's a balance. As an influencer, you have to be practical, logical, assertive, at the same time spontaneous, flexible, kind and loving. A lot of us are not aware of this. We think we have to be, those of us who are very spiritual, think we have to be kind and loving all the time and just let anyone behave as they want to us and just kind of be receptive. And that's not true at all, Whereas obviously it's very bad to be like those people who are very kind of, those kind of nihilistic and brutal, kind of very cold scientific people who, by the way, they don't only exist in the kind of atheist people, also people who claim to be of a religion are usually like this as well, and that everything has to be organised, practical and logical, and that any feeling or emotional vulnerability is bad. I mean, obviously that's extremely toxic, but what's also toxic is to be purely spontaneous, purely creative and purely receptive, without drawing a line, drawing boundaries and being assertive, practical, at the same time having a loving heart. So those are the values that I'm working on now, being the alchemical leader, the influencer, the dominator, because I was put on this earth to be a leader. I am not somebody who follows trends or religions or ways of thinking. I am here to forge my own path and to uplift as many people as I can with me. So it's important for someone like me to integrate the scientific, the practical, the logical with the spontaneous, the creative, the harmonious. Being receptive, kind and compassionate to others with their level of consciousness, but at the same time draw red lines and let others know that yes, they can vent their opinions and other concerns, but when I'm in the room, the primary frequency is love. If someone is around me is expressing toxicity, whether or not it's through its words, in a way that is negatively impacting myself and others, then that has to stop. You can disagree and have your own opinion and air that as much as you want, but the line stops when that crosses the boundary of disrespect, and that's very important, I think. And the best way we as leaders, as influencers, as vanguards can do that is to be the example. Be it. Don't. I think I'm very successful because I'm not a preacher. For example, I'm the only one in my environment who's a vegan. I'm the only one who thinks the way I think in terms of with things like positivity, kindness. Not caring what other people think. I'm somebody who, if I feel like dancing in public, I'm going to dance in public. People may look at me funny or may think I'm crazy, but it doesn't matter. When I'm in front of a building, I bless it with love. If I'm about to enter a building, I bless it with love and my kindness, because when I go anywhere, my frequency has to be the dominant frequency, because I know I'm coming from love. I know I'm coming from compassion, and I know I'm coming from forgiveness. So it is really important to draw boundaries, to be assertive, at the same time allow people to be who they are. And that's the message that I want to give everyone, is that be loving, be compassionate, be forgiving. At the same time, when you go into a room, remember that you are the example. So you don't need to convince anyone of anything. You don't need to get anyone to explain your point of view. You just need to be. You need to vibrate. Do the inner work. Work on your heart chakra. Work on your third eye chakra. Work on your throat chakra. And just be present. Listen. When it's time to listen, listen to others. Listen to where they're coming from, even if they are hostile to you. When it's time to speak, speak absolutely. Speak clearly and speak without letting anyone interrupt you. So you need to know how to be receptive, but also be assertive. And it's not about the words you speak. We as leaders need to know that it's not about what we're saying. It's not about the opinions we have, not about our political opinions, not about our religious beliefs. It's not about our identity, not about our sexual identity, not about our dietary habits. It's about the energy we hold. It's about our vibration. That is the important thing. If your heart is not right, if your cells are not vibrating right, it does not matter if you're a comics artist, doesn't matter if you're a musician, doesn't matter if you're an atheist or a Muslim or a Jew or an African or an Arab or a white man. All that is meaningless. It has no value, inherent value, if your vibration, if your cells are not aligned with who you truly are. If I'm out of alignment, it does not matter how I come across. It does not matter the words I'm saying do not matter. All that matters is my vibration. So be the example. You don't need to waste your breath convincing others of anything. You just need to go and be. And the best way to do that is to work on yourself first. Before you put yourself out there as a leader, as an influencer, as somebody who's there to guide others, work on your own heart. Guide yourself first. Love yourself first. Deal with your own hang-ups. There is no way you can influence and lead and inspire others if you have not first led yourself, inspired yourself, aligned yourself, dealt with your own hang-ups. You can't help others deal with your anger if you've not dealt with your own anger. You can't help others deal with their anxiety if you haven't begun to deal with your own anxiety. Work on yourself first, and then those in your surroundings will be slowly but surely uplifted by your vibration and the energy that you hold. Something as simple as me making eye contact with the student and being receptive to them, and then giving them clear and valuable feedback, not just with advice, but just acknowledgement. Yes, I understand. Just simple as that. Eye contact. Yes, I understand. That's all you need. Be the example, be that shining light, work on yourself first, clean up your diet, clean up your thoughts, clean up that heart, clean up your sleep habits, fix yourself first. And then when you're ready to go out there and be the shining leader that you are, you will do so from the most authentic and powerful and inspiring place possible. This has been Wild Rocket with you from Istanbul in Turkey. What a wonderful place this is. God bless you all. May the universe bless you all. And I look forward to seeing you again all very soon. Peace, love, light, integration.